Hello, interwebs. This is like my second recording because I accidentally said ivory instead of ivy, and I was like, oh my god, I sound like an idiot. So I'm redoing this one. This is a semi tutorial, I guess you would call it. I've only done a couple of things to this, so I figure I'd go ahead and while I was waiting for this to dry, which I'll explain in just a second, I'll go ahead and do this while it was still in the beginning stages. So I call Michael's my crack house because every time I go there, I originally go for one thing, but I usually wind up spending like at least $50. Like I just can't help myself. So yeah, it's kind of my crack house. So it's the middle of July, but 2 months to a month and a half ago or so, they were having their spring sale. I picked this up for $6. Originally, it was like 20, 22, something like that. So I was like, sweet. I wanted to, but they only had one in this size. They had like the bigger ones, which I didn't want because it's going to go right there on top of my bookshelf. So having a big, huge birdcage just wasn't what I was looking for. But anyway, so what I've done so far, this paperback here, also from Michael's, it was a gift wrap type thing, like $2 over there in this section where everything is like $1.50, $2. They have things like prepackaged paper flowers, like 6 to 9 or so for $1.50. The little decorative picture frames, which are only like 3 inches or so by 3. Things like that. And it's not like Christmas paper, that waxy, flimsy, all over the place type paper. It's more like a parchment or butcher paper type. So, I mean, it's, way sturdier than what we're used to with gift wrap, Christmas, birthday type thing. So, I just laid it, design facing down, put the back of the cage on top, did like a rough sketch, with a pencil, cut that section out, took my E6000, went along all 4 edges, and there's like a seam or whatever right here, took a craft knife and cut out a little square U shape for the hinges right there, let that dry overnight, and a little while ago I trimmed whatever little pieces of paper were still too big or sticking out or whatnot. So this stuff right here is floral moss. It's very handy for things like bird related things like bird cages. In a previous video I had a cardboard upcycle circle thing that had birds and a birdhouse and things like that, and I had some of this down the bottom. I got mine from the Dollar Tree. Word of caution, it's almost as bad as glitter because that stuff can get everywhere, so just kind of be a little careful when you're handling it. So I also have bowls, like plastic bowls I don't give a crap about. I don't care if they get messed up or if I have to wind up throwing them away, no big deal. I also have those long plastic spoons that you get like at fast food places for milkshakes, sundaes, blizzards, that kind of thing. Both of those are great for mixing various things from paint to things like this, or whatever and what have you. Keeps your hands clean. So for this, basically I'm kind of doing the moss in layers. I'm not going to make it, I think to me, that's a pretty good height for what I want to do. I mean, you add however much you want to, but for me, this is good. I mixed in the X amount of the moss, what I thought would be enough to make the first layer. I mixed it in with some glue all. It's dry and very absorbent. So, like, this was a brand new bottle of glue all. But I mean, that's fine. Just so before I put it in, I made little squiggle lines with my glue just to give a little bit of extra sticking power, I guess you would call it. Yes, I know there's like little bald spots, which when I dumped it in unceremoniously, I took the spoon that I was using and kind of pushed it, towards the edges because I wanted it to stick out, a little bit. I didn't want to be 100% like, perfect or whatever. So, but anyway, only did a layer so far because if I had just done like a whole bunch and, plopped it in there, and it would take forever to dry. Like I'd probably have to wait like a day or two. And I'm too impatient for that, so I decided to do it this way. Plus, also, if I so decide, like, I can still stick things down in here, like for a, background kind of effect or whatever. If I just want to stick something in the background, I could still totally do that, and, it could just all dry together. So, that's what I've done with that so far. Now, what I plan on doing, or at least a few things I plan on doing, also at Michael's, yes, I told you it's my crack house, man. Like, I can't help it. They have these various woodcut dyes. I love birds and things like that, so a lot of my woodcut dyes are birds. I have a couple of anchors and stuff, so. But anyway, I have a decent amount of designer paper. And so what I did, I took a sheet, which is, 12 by 12. This is a little bit different color because the bird I sprayed with some blue alcohol ink spray. I wanted it just a little bit more blue, because it's kind of brown and beige and, that kind of thing. So I wanted it to stick out a little bit. Not too much because I'm trying to go for the shabby chic type look. So, I didn't want like a bright yellow bird, or something like that. It's kind of subtle, somewhat pastel, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's the original, like I said. And I laid down the pattern, on the table, face side down. Took a pencil, traced around this, cut it out. I did a layer of Mod Podge first, like just to be by itself because I figured the wood would, pretty much suck it up, which it did. So actually I did 2 layers of Mod Podge before I even put the paper down, and then I did another layer on top of that, which in case you didn't know or don't know or whatever, I don't know about the official, $6 a bottle alcohol ink sprays, but the kind I make, which is just literally 90 proof rubbing alcohol and food coloring. Literally, that's it. I mean, it's really easy. When I put on the first layer on top, on the paper of my Mod Podge, I noticed that the brush picked up some of the color. So if I hadn't if I hadn't noticed that and I went to do this, which is fabric, it would have had a blue tint. So, just kind of keep that in mind if you do something like this or similar or whatever. So that is that. I've already talked about this. This is fabric. I just laid it kind of on top of the fabric. I used a binder clip on one side and held it in place while I cut around it. Excuse me. This is cardstock designer paper. I can't remember the name of the paper pack. It was like the fairy tale frog prints, fairies, I want to say Prima Rose, but I'm not 100% on that. So anyway, this I figure, or I'm planning to anyway, I don't know if it's going to go on the side of the cage somewhere, or maybe I might hang it in the back on that paper back there. I'm not 100% yet, but I just want to go ahead and cover both sides in case, I change my mind and, one side would be visible I just want, you know, a plain wooden side to it. I also have some fence woodcut dies. These are two glued together. Glued the edges right there and held it together with binder clips overnight, let it dry. I'll probably wind up doing a crackle effect, because most likely I will put the fence up front like that. That doorknob, or drawer knob, sorry, it's a little dark, but in case you don't know what Crackle is, it has like a fuchsia type pink underneath, and then on top is that baby blue color, but where you see the pink, that's the Crackle effect, or whatever you want to call it. Technically you can buy Crackle paint in the store. It's kind of expensive, especially if you have, you know, semi large projects, you know, something, you know, bigger than this. You can literally do it at home for pennies. I mean, just literally, it's acrylic paint and Elmer's glue. That's it. There's no special thing. There's no magic solution that you have to spray on, or, you know, mix together, or nothing. Quite literally, like with the drawer knob there, I painted it that fuchsia pink color. Let that dry. Then you take your, it could be school glue or Elmer's glue all, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be like special glue or, you know, nothing. So you can get like a 50-cent bottle of school glue and you're good to go. Anyway, let your base color, whatever it may be, dry. Do a medium thickness coat of the glue before it dries. You can let it get a little tacky to the touch, but if it gets too dry, then it's not going to work. So, you know, practice on something first if you've never done it before you do your actual project, so you get a feel for what I'm talking about. Anyway, before it dries, you put on your second color on top. Like for the drawer knob, it was that blue. But as it dries, that glue will cause the paint to crackle, separate. I don't know why it does this. Maybe glue moves around as it dries. I don't freaking know. But all I know is that, like I said, literally for pennies, you could do the same thing, that if you went and bought like a little jar, you know, not even as big as this thing, like probably that big. I've seen them upwards towards, you know, $5 and $6 and shit like that. So yeah. Anyway, so I plan on crackling my fence. I haven't decided, because I'm doing like a shabby chic kind of look. So I haven't decided if my underneath layer is going to be like a soft baby pink or like this khaki-ish kind of color. And then white on top. I know it's going to be a white on top. I do know that much so far, but I'll have to try it out and see which look I like better. Which you can just do like a test on like a thick sheet of paper, or, you know, something like that. In case you don't know what Shabby Chic is, the closest thing that I currently own that I could show you real quick would be this. I'm not too crazy about this antique-y, brassy looking gold, but basically Shabby Chic is like, kind of think Victorian, sort of. The soft colors and the lace and, you know, flowers and pearls and things like that. So actually that will probably go in the back or on the top. I don't know. It'll go in there some damn where, because I've been trying to figure out something to use that freaking thing for forever. So some way, somehow, it's getting used with this project. I don't know how yet, but somehow. Okay, so this is what I meant at the beginning of the video. I watch all my videos before I post them. And for some odd reason, I don't know why, I call this ivory. I know this is not freaking ivory, so to not sound as retarded, I decided to reshoot this ivy fake ass shit I got from Dollar Tree. It came with this paper rope type deal. I don't know why, I guess to help keep it in shape or something, I don't know. But what I plan on doing is I'm going to try and find the straightest section I can, because I only need about maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe about 5 inches or so. What I plan on doing is taking this little bird and that little section that I find and then using it to make it look like a perch, like a bird swing. So let's see if I can get a better visual. So it'll look something like that, kind of, sort of. And then what I'm going to do is I have some of that floral wire, which is, you know, very moldable, bendable, easy to manage. And I'll probably wrap it around the ends. And the other end, somewhere, I don't know if I'm going to do it directly in the middle or more off center. I haven't decided that far yet. But what I'll do is I'll attach the other end of the wires up here so that when you're looking at it, it'll look like, excuse me, it'll look like my little bird's on a perch. Which, he looks kind of big right now because he's on the outside, but anyway, that is what I plan on doing. And of course, you know, the flowers and all the foo-foo girly shit and all that crap, but that will be it. I don't have a digital camera. I'm doing this off my cell phone, so unfortunately I can't pause it and then come back and show you more progress as I go along. So unless I do like 3 or 4 different videos, I'll just be doing this one, and then when it's all said and done, I'll do another video to, you know, show the finished product. Anyway, hopefully, you know, this gives you somewhat of an idea of something that you have or can do. You know, that's the purpose of my videos. I sure don't have, you know, 1 million subscribers and, you know, a buttload of views to where I'm getting paid for this shit, so I'm not in it for the money. This is just to help people. This is how I am. I love to give people ideas and, well, I wonder how this would look and what if you did this, you know, and that kind of thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, whatever, and I'll see you later, YouTubers. Bye.